Man, I thought I'd mention a tool. Let me explain. I'm working in the root cellar, and I have to, I've got the post going down into the clay, and I'm cleaning out an area now that I'm going to be putting in a 2x4 or 2x6 that's notched out that'll fit 1 inch around the post, and I'll go boards 1 inch oak up and pack this clay back in behind them. Well, for working in this kind of a tight area, it's nice down here because it's like 90 degrees out. Well, down here it's cool. So on these hot days I've been working on this. Well, you're kind of in a confined space, and I've got to get around behind the post and that sort of thing. And heavy clay isn't the easiest thing to dig. Well, I've been using this, and I thought I'd talk about it, though I'm sure I mentioned it before. I use this thing an awful lot. A mattock is a nice tool. This is the one that stays on the Pioneer rack on the M37. And it's handy, but it takes some room to work. So to have this short-handled one that's still got substantial weight is really handy. This is one of the Swiss ones, an older one. Though I did just check to make sure, and you can still buy these. They're like 20 bucks from Swiss Link. I bought this from Fleet Farm, and they were supplied by Swiss Link, and they don't carry the Swiss or any of the surplus stuff anymore. And I kind of kicked myself for that, because at the time, I could have bought these for like 10, 12 bucks a piece. They were on sale when they were cleaning them out, and I should have just bought a whole pile. Because, I thought when I bought this, I thought, well, this might come in handy. Well, I find myself using this a lot. Way more than I ever thought I would. In fact, this is one of those tools. I've got that Pioneer rack on the back of the M37 that carries the big tools. But there's a space kind of right inside the door on both sides, alongside the seat. There's kind of a hole back there that I carry this and this entrenching tool and a Swede saw and an AK bayonet. Well, the reason for the bayonet is because it's handy. I mean, you got the knife and stuff, but also it's got a really good wire cutter on it. So for the smaller tools, that's a handy location. And then that's on the passenger side. On the driver's side, I actually carry that folding stock shotgun, because it fits right in there and it's out of view, and that's handy. But yet you can just walk up to the vehicle and reach it from the outside. But it has surprised me because I've had this for several years now, and I find myself many times reaching for this tool. In fact, I have a hard time keeping it in the M37 where it belongs, because I always find myself dragging it off to something like this. When people are fond of their entrenching tools, this is one of the German ones, but the German ones have got a decent pick on them anyway. It's a big heavy iron thing. But they really kind of fall down, as all entrenching tools do, in the mattock department. This is really too wide to work as a mattock. It's more of like a hole. And they'd always, I don't know, something clumped up there. I think it was the dog. But I'm also a little nervous when I'm down here. I have a horse fall in on me or something. I'm surprised this isn't full of rabbits, but I haven't yet to find a rabbit down here. But I think the dog heard me talking is what was going on. But, the entrenching tools, like I said, this is the best of a bad lot. Those folding ones with that collar, they're hopelessly weak. A lot of them will be too weak in here. If you try to use them like a shovel, they will actually bend. They're really, like I say, this is the best of a bad lot. They're very much a compromise. Some things can work in a multi-function thing, like a Swiss Army knife is a perfect example of something that isn't compromised by being multi-function. But these, they're pretty compromised. They work in a pinch, but not the handiest thing. Like for here, they would be useless for digging here. I can't get in where I need to get in with it. This, and like I say, I've found that to be true very often. This is the tool that I reach for. If you got room to swing and you need the weight, these big ones are handy. But a lot of times, this is all I need. It's just the right size. But I did check, and Swiss Lake still has, they don't have the old ones, they have the new built ones. I don't know if there's any difference in them. They look to be the identical tool. But they're about 20 bucks now, and the same with people always ask about that little short-handled axe. Really, it's like a hatchet, but it's a little heavier than what a hatchet should be. But it's kind of a kitchen axe that the Swiss had. And there again, I should have bought more of them at the time. But they're still available for about 20 bucks. But you can get ripped off on that stuff. Something that's of such a good design, other people tend to copy them, and make a cheaper version of them. But if you can get the old Swiss ones, heck of a tool. Just really well made, really well designed, a perfect size, really, for a lot of things. So I end up using this in the garden. I use it a lot for many different things. Way more than I thought. When I bought it, I thought, hey, this might come in handy sometimes. It comes in handy. I use this a lot more than I use the big one. And actually, the entrenching tool, like I said, it is such a compromise. I like having it along, but if I really need a shovel or a pick or a mattock, I've got the big stuff on the Pioneer rack, so I tend to use that. So, it's all right to have one of these, but they aren't really a substitute for the heavy stuff. Though, a little more portable, but they can't take near the strain that the big stuff can. But this thing, the way it's designed, can take quite a beating. It's never given me a minute of trouble. Even the fit where the head goes on, it doesn't, like this one's made to disassemble. You just bang it. I imagine you could take this one apart, but it's never come loose, and I've never had a reason to take it apart. It just stays like it is, and it flips behind that seat. It's a handy tool. But I thought I'd mention that if you run across one, at a yard sale or whatnot, because they sold a lot of these over the years. If one of them turns up, I would jump at it. But like I say, the new ones are around $20. But excellent tool. It'd be hard to do this with anything else. I mean, I could get the job done, but it would be a lot more difficult. This just makes my life easier. And that's what I like. But like I said, I wish I'd have bought a half dozen of them. Yeah, I do miss having that stuff available. But, like I say, Swiss Link supplied Fleet Farm. So if I need the stuff, I can always get it directly from Swiss Link. But it used to be so nice because Fleet Farm would have really good sales on that stuff.